We just got some major breaking news to discuss on Jaxson Dart and his potential availability for this Sunday's game against the Lions. Before we do that, though, when we give you the full injury report on Kayvon Thibodeaux, Paulson Adebo, and a player returning to practice for Big Blue, if you want to see Jaxson Dart on the football field this Sunday, hit that thumbs up icon right now. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and we might just get to see Jaxson Dart play football this Sunday against the Detroit Lions. Dart missed last week's game against the Green Bay Packers due to a concussion that he suffered in the prior week against the Bears, but he was back at practice in a non-contact fashion on Wednesday. And look, that is very newsworthy because that puts him on track to play this Sunday, and all quarterbacks go through non-contact practices throughout the week, and Jaxson Dart was first up in drills and in team sessions at quarterback this Wednesday for the New York Giants. He still is in the concussion protocol, so there's a couple more hurdles that he is going to have to clear if he wants to play this Sunday against the Detroit Lions, but it sounds like he's on track. It sounds like he is only going to have to miss one game due to a concussion. I had heard that the concussion wasn't as severe as initially thought amongst the Giants organization, and there was belief this weekend and dating back to last Friday when he was actually at practice in a limited capacity that Sunday against the Lions was when he was going to return. Mike Kafka saying Jaxson Dart is trending towards playing in Week 12, barring a setback at practice this week. So it looks like you're going to have your rookie quarterback back on the gridiron, and it is much needed. Look, is this season about wins and losses anymore? Maybe for Mike Kafka, maybe for Joe Shane. I believe this season has shifted, and it may have done this even when he became the starter, the continuous development of Jaxson Dart, putting him in situations that he can grow from, getting better and better and better, and being a better quarterback every time he touches the field. Look, he's had an awesome season, 17 total touchdowns and just a handful of starts, only thrown 3 interceptions, completing almost 63% of his passes. He has been awesome. Like, I don't need to tell you guys that. I'm just excited to see him on the football field, and I'm excited to see him in a Mike Kafka offense, a full Mike Kafka offense where he has final say-so on what the action and what the plays and how the designs and schemes are going to be cooked up. My first thought was, are we going to see another ground and pound game where Kafka just commits to the run, wants to set the tone, and no matter what down, what distance, he is going to run the football? We saw on 29 first downs against the Green Bay Packers, the New York Giants ran it on 20 of them. And if you remove the final drive where the Giants threw the ball on 4 of 5 first downs, that means that the New York Giants ran the ball on 19 of their first 25 first downs. They ran the ball a lot last week. And I also wonder, are they going to limit Jaxson Dart as a runner? There was some smoke that one of the main reasons, or not main reasons, one of the final straws when it comes to Brian Daboll being fired was that he did not protect Jaxson Dart, that he did not keep him out of harm's way. And maybe that message has been relayed to Mike Kafka, and I wonder if he is going to place a new focus on slide, avoid contact, protect yourself. We're not making a playoff push. The worst thing that could happen this season is that Dart suffers an injury that carries over into the 2026 campaign. So Jaxson Dart on track to play this Sunday, back at practice in a limited capacity today, but all signs point to number 6 being back under center on Sunday. Make sure you are subscribed, because if we get any more new information on this, we're going to get you guys a video as soon as possible, and we are inching closer and closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers. Shout out to Diane, Harry, Jonathan, Zenadia, I butchered that, I apologize, Z Dempsey, and Benny Scholes, or is that an R? I'm going blind. Bernie, Benny, B Scholes in the building. I failed the vision test when I recently got my driver's license renewed, so Apologies on that, but I appreciate every single one of y'all. If you haven't yet, hit that sub button, and let's go Giants. Coming up next, some major injury news on Kayvon Thibodeaux and Paulson Adebo, who both missed last week's game. We also have a player returning from injured reserve, and a lot more to discuss. But first, get hooked up with our proud sponsor, Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Pick, predict, and play. Playing Prize Picks on game days make game days that much more fun. It's easy and exciting to play. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you simply pick more or you pick less on the stat total that Prize Picks has set for that said player. You can get in the action in less than 60 seconds, and it's so easy. And Prize Picks has an awesome promo deal going on right now. When you use the promo code CLNS, after you create an account, after downloading the app, use that promo code CLNS, play your first $5 lineup, and they're going to get you $50 in lineups. You don't even have to get your lineup correct. I've got a 2-player lineup ready to roll for this slate of games on Sunday. I'm taking the more on passing yards for Drake May, and I'm taking the more on rushing yards for Jahmyr Gibbs as he takes on the New York Football Giants. If both of these plays are correct, I'm going to 3x my entry fee. You can do the same, or you can fade me, but just play at Prize Picks. Download the app, create an account, use the promo code CLNS, and get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All that information, clickable, down in the comments and description of today's show. Alrighty, let's dive into it. The New York Giants are currently on the field at practice today, probably wrapping it up at the time of filming this video, but we got some major updates on Kayvon Thibodeaux and Paulson Adebo. Both players missed the Week 11 game against the Green Bay Packers. Paulson Adebo has now missed 4 games in a row. Adebo was actually questionable entering the game on Sunday. He was expected to play, but he reportedly did not feel 100% in pregame warmups, and the trainers and he elected to keep himself out of that action. Was it a setback? I'm not sure, but he's still not at practice, and I don't know if we're going to see him this week, and I don't know if we should even see him the rest of the season. Kayvon Thibodeaux also not practicing today after he missed the game last week due to a shoulder injury, and I have no idea how long he is going to be out, but I don't know if he is going to play this week. A player the Giants might be getting back on the football field this week is Darius Slayton, as he missed the last game due to a hamstring injury. He will be limited at practice today and reportedly working on the side, so trending in a direction that he might be out there on Sunday to get back to work with Jaxson Dart, which would greatly improve the Giants wide receiver depth chart, even if you're not a big Darius Slayton fan, like I am not a big Darius Slayton fan. But if you roll with Slayton, Robinson, and Slayton, Robinson, and Hodgins, you at least have 3 professional wide receivers. And going from what you had a couple of weeks ago to that would be much better. I might be able to make the argument that Hodgins is already the best receiver on this team. Nice job, Joe. You finally got him here after you were 11 weeks late to the party. Eric Gray, a name that we have not mentioned in a long, long time on this show. The Giants are opening up his 21-day practice window as he has been on IR all season long. That usually means the player is going to be active the following game, but the Giants, they have 21 days to make him active on game days again. Good stuff there. We'll see if he is improved as a player. I think this might be his last season with the New York Giants. We saw the Giants pound the rock against the Green Bay Packers, and maybe they want to add another back to that backfield, as they've only had 2 active running backs on the team really for the large part of this season since that first Tyrone Tracy injury. But they ran the hell out of the ball. 35 carries between Tyrone and Singletary. I thought Tracy was awesome. I actually thought it was his best game as a pro. I thought he ran downhill. I thought he ran through arm tackles. He was willing to pick up those dirty yards, and he was a major factor in the receiving game as well. 2 catches of 20-plus yards in the screen game that moved the chains in pivotal parts of that game. I was really impressed with Tracy, and I continue to be impressed with Motor Singletary. I know only 2.8 yards per carry. He did have those 2 touchdowns. He has a nose for the end zone. He is usually a guy that makes the first defender miss. He can run through arm tackles. He has a nice start-stop ability, underrated feet. I like these 2 guys as a running back duo, and with the addition of Eric Gray, I don't know if he's going to play. And by play, I mean get a lot of snaps, but he could be active on Sunday as a part of the game day 48. Other people that the Giants could be getting back this week, Raheem Nunez-Roches, a.k.a. Nacho. He is expected to be limited at practice today. Tyler Nubin and Chauncey Golston, a player that we haven't seen play in weeks, is also going to be limited at practice today, which means they are one step closer to returning to the field on game day. Mike Kafka made it clear. Jameis Winston will be the backup quarterback to Jaxson Dart if Dart is able to go. This is the right move. This is the only move. All respect to Russ. Appreciate what he's put in and the work and time and effort and energy and love and prayer to the New York Giants. But Jameis is just a better quarterback at this point, and he should be the QB2. And I wonder if that means that Russell Wilson will now be inactive on game days and maybe just serve as that emergency QB3 spot. We haven't talked a lot about Jameis following the game because they lost and there's just been a lot more to discuss. But I was proud of the way he played. I know he had 5 interceptions. 4 of them were dropped, and he threw a big one at the end, but that was really on Jalen Hyatt. And I just want to say thank you to Jameis, man. You played your tail off, you fought, you battled, and you gave the New York Giants a chance to win that game no matter if picks were dropped or caught. So salute to you, Jameis. I'm happy to have you as a Giant, and we want you here again next year as the backup for Jaxson Dart. Show my man J-Bo some love. Type those 19s in the comment section, and make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallGreen_.